Hello everyone, my name is Mandy Melville and I'm a Creative Memories Advisor from the Hunter Valley region in New South Wales, Australia. I hope that you're all having a fabulous weekend so far, joining in with our worldwide virtual crop. Today I have the pleasure of sharing with you the layout that I'm going to create for sketch number 7. As you can see, this is a 2-page sketch that includes 5 photos of various shapes and sizes, as well as some paper layering and some embellishing. So the collection that I'm going to use today is the beautiful Vivid Melodies Butterscotch collection. So you can see here I've got some of the papers ready to go. I've also got the beautiful border stickers, as well as some of the butterscotch embellishments. And I'm also going to be using the Sunshine Arches Border Maker cartridge on this layout. So the photos that I'm going to scrapbook today are of my youngest daughter on her first day of prep a few years ago. So here where we live, prep is the last year of preschool before they start big school. And I hadn't yet scrapbooked these photos, and when I saw the beautiful colours in the butterscotch collection, I knew that it would work perfectly with these photos with the colour of her shirt. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start working on the right-hand side of the spread to start with. So as you can see here, we've got the 3 photos on this side, and I'm going to use these 2 square photos as well as this one on this side of the spread. Okay, so I've decided on using this paper as my background. I think it will create a nice subtle and neutral backdrop for my photos, and it will really help them to stand out on the page as it's not too busy. I am going to trim that down to 11.5 inches square, and I'm going to mat it on this darker orange paper, and that will give the page a nice border. I don't want to waste the middle section of this paper though, as it's not going to be seen once I put this over the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away the middle section, leaving a 1-inch border around the page. Okay, so now I can keep this section, and I'm actually going to use that to mat my photos. And then I'm going to bring my trimmer back in, and I'm going to trim this down. So I'm going to trim off 1/2 inch. Off that side, turn, and 1/2 inch off that side. Okay, and then I'm going to adhere that to the darker orange paper, and as you can see, that gives a nice border around the page. And I'm not wasting any of the paper underneath because I've cut that away. Okay, so I'm going to start working on the paper layers first. So as you can see, there's this patterned paper here that sits underneath all of the photos and other elements on the page. There's then a strip that goes all the way across the middle of the page there. So I'm going to create a border across the middle there, and I'm actually going to run this piece all the way across. Rather than trimming it here, I'm going to make it go all the way across the 2-page sketch. So I've started by trimming that piece down to 7 inches wide. So I'm just working on the right-hand side of the spread to start with, but then I will repeat this on the left-hand side. So I've got that where I want it, and I'm going to use my repositionable tape. Okay, so next I'm going to work on this strip that runs through the middle of the page here. So I've started by cutting a strip of this pattern paper at 3.5 inches wide. Next I'm going to cut a 1-inch strip of this paper, which is the other side of this. So I'm using up the pattern papers that I've already cut into, and I'm going to cut this at 1 inch wide. Okay, so I don't need that piece. Okay, next I'm going to use my Sunshine Arches Border Maker cartridge. So I'm going to insert that into the housing bracket, and I'm going to cut it from this patterned paper. Okay, and then I'm going to trim this to about 1 1/4 inches wide. Okay, next I need about a 1/4 inch wide strip of this paper, and then I'm going to switch out the blade for my scallop blade, and I'm going to trim this at about 1/2 inch. Okay, so now I'm ready to put this together. So this is going to go across here. I'm going to tuck this underneath. Next I will add that yellow strip. I'm going to tuck the scallop strip underneath that yellow strip. Like so. I'm going to add that thin strip across the top there. And then lastly, I'm going to add a sticker across this yellow piece here, and I think I'm going to use that one. So before I pull that sticker off the sheet, I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of these paper layers together, and then I'll come back and show you where we're at. Okay, so I have my base pages all done. As you can see, what I did over here on the right hand side of the spread, I just repeated over here on the left, which is a little bit different to what the sketch shows. As I mentioned before, this piece that runs across here, I decided to continue it all the way across the page because I felt like that worked better for my layout. I like to use sketches as an inspiration and a bit of a jumping off point, so sometimes I change things around a little bit to suit my layout. I also have gone ahead and I've matted my photos. As I said, I used the inside pieces of the dark orange to mat my photos. So I'm going to show you where I'll position those. These square photos I have printed off at 3.5 inches square. The vertical photo is 3 inches by 4.5 inches, and the same on this side. And then the horizontal photo is 4 3/4 inch by 3.5 inches. So as you can see, again, I changed it a little bit from the sketch. Instead of using a square photo here, I've used a vertical photo because I felt that just suited my page better, and I didn't really want to crop that photo down to square. So I kept that as the vertical photo there. So that's sort of how I'm going to have my photos laid out. And then just looking at some embellishing, as you can see on the sketch, we've got some embellishing here and over here, and also something here. So we've got the 3 embellishment clusters to create that visual triangle on your page. So I have pulled out a few of the embellishments from this collection, And I'll show you what I'm sort of thinking for my embellishing. So I'm going to have a little journaling spot there with one of those beautiful die cut flowers. Over on this side, I will probably do something here with these flowers. I might have that like that. Then I'm going to, I think, tuck this under there, along with another flower over there. And I'll probably add that in as well. So I like how that's looking. And then for my title, I wanted to use the "You Are My Sunshine" word. On the sketch, you can see that the title is over on this side, but for my page, I'm going to put it over here just because I think that fits a little bit better there. What I've also done is I've punched a few hearts using the piece by piece mini punch with the heart in it. And I'm just going to scatter a few of those around as well. So probably one over here, one up here, and one over on this side. Something like that, just to add another little detail. Okay, so that's basically how my page is going to look. I'll go ahead and adhere everything down, and then I'll show you a photo at the end of the finished layout. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this layout come together, and I can't wait to see what you all create using sketch number 7. Thanks for watching.